So we shall now go on to our next set. Dr. Himanshu Matalia would be countered by Dr. Jagdish Reddy. Dr. Himanshu is the medical superintendent and head of cornea, refractive ocular surface and stem cell transplantation from NN Narayan Nethralaya 2, a dynamic surgeon. And he is going to be talking on a higher order aberrations and angle alpha are overstated in premium IOL screening. Countering the issue would be Dr. Jagdish Reddy, head of the cataract and refractive services with specialization in cornea and anterior segment, contact lens, cataract and laser refractive surgery from LVPI Hyderabad. So let's hear the two of them and then we can go on to a discussion. On to you, Dr. Himanshu.
Thank you, Dr. Chitra, and thank you, Team ARC, for having me here. I'm sure Jagdish is going to confuse you with a lot of things, but let's hear the science behind this thing. First question arises, when you talk about these angle kappa alpha, how do you define them? The problem is there are so many things, optical axis, visual axis, pupillary axis, and so many angles, alpha, lambda, kappa. I mean, we really don't know. In fact, you know, the answer to this thing is none of them measure what they are supposed to measure. They all have actually gone. In fact, this is where Chang Boring came out with the terminology called Chang Boring chord or chord mu, which is now actually is used. So it's very confusing. Whenever we talk about the definition, we really don't know what we are talking about. So many angles. How do we measure these angle kappa? I'm going to be surrogating angle kappa as one of these angle. How do we measure them? Well, we started with synoptophore, which measured in angulation. OBS can also measure later on in angulation. And then came eye trace and pentacam and so many topographers. And all these things, they all measure differently. They all have measurement different. They are not interchangeable also. So we really don't know what is right and what is wrong. In fact, things like eye trace, they do not measure the angle alpha. It's not the definition. They all are similar or surrogate of the measurement. So they are not true measurements. So please remember that we do not have true measurement. Now let's measure it. We have measured it, and how reliable or how repeatable these are. Well, we have enough literature which shows that there is a high variability of measurement of angle kappa, and along with the higher order aberration. In fact, it changes with the age. It differs from right eye to left eye. What are we talking about then? It differs from the lighting condition, from scotopic pupil to mesopic pupil. And not only that, we earlier thought high hyperopia, high angle kappa. It's not true. It doesn't follow all of them that way. All these things keeping aside, how common, we are worried about the dysphotopsia, glare and halo, all of us, we were discussing about that. How common are these glare and halos? Interesting thing is, now with the newer generation lenses, what we were talking about, all these things have become very, very rare. In fact, when we talk about glare and halo, there are so many factors, not just one mere angle kappa, which is responsible for that. We all know that new EDOF lenses, trifocal lenses, we are widely using it, and they are far better than earlier. They are much better in terms of glare and halos. So what has changed? Well, surgery has remained same. Living condition has become worse. Now there are younger people who are coming for it. Remember, those angle kappa alpha, they have not changed. What has changed is lenses. So let's not keep on blaming these angles and all those things. To summarize, what do we have here? An angle which we poorly define, we cannot even define. Something we cannot even measure properly, we are not sure about that. Something which differs in each eye also of a single person. Something which changes with pupil diameter in a single person. Something which changes with the age also. Something which actually does not affect the vision. And finally, something which is not a true reason to be concerned about in newer IOL, which is why we are worrying about this thing. Next part is about the higher order aberration. And of course, I have to clarify that when we talk about higher order aberration, we are certainly not talking about comma or trifoils. We would never do premium IOL in such cases. We are finally coming back to the spherical aberration, and we love to hate this guy without much reason. Let's take an example. In this complicated slide, first cartoon shows 9.90 micron of a higher order aberration in 6 millimeter pupil. Mere normal pupil size makes that aberration reduced by 77%. And giving a small myopic glass, reduces it by 96%, coming to 0.04%. That means whatever blur we get with this spherical aberration is as much as a blur of 0.05 diopter, which is 1/5 of a residual error of 0.25, which if any one of us hit would be on the moon. In fact, most of the studies accept 0.5 as a gold standard. Some of the studies accept +1 and minus as a gold standard. IOL powers are manufactured in the steps of 0.5. Refraction is done in the steps of 0.25 diopter. And here we are worried about 0.05 diopter of blur, which a spherical aberration, which is going to, before that, I think we just need to do something to regularize our biometry techniques. On top of that, pupil. Now, pupil size reduces with the age. Younger pupil are larger, older pupil are smaller. Well, average Indian pupil diameter is much smaller than Caucasian. And not only that, after surgery, pupil diameter reduces. If you give an example, I've kept only the spherical aberration on 7 millimeter pupil. Just see what happens. 6 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 3 millimeter, gone. Nothing is there. What are we worried about? And we worried about the higher order aberration, like spherical aberration. So take a chill pill. We are people from God's own country with a small pupil diameter. So my take home, to summarize, angle alpha, kappa, spherical aberration, they are very important, but hardly affects the visual outcome of a new premium IOL. We should rather use chord mu instead of angles, and instead improve the biometric techniques and IOL power calculation. And my take home message will be this. Thank you.
Very well said, Himanshu. I agree with much of what you say, but I would want to know what Dr. Jagdish Reddy is going to add to counter your